Welcome to Sunday Springboard, and with me, Melanie, and Kimberlyn Coaching, where we help women flourish after experiencing major life transitions. We're continuing our series on energy blocks, which we remember that energy blocks are things that happen or things we believe, which we'll talk about today, that stop us from being able to put out all the effort that we want in our performance, in our lives, to achieve the goals that we want. Last week we talked about outer goals, outer blocks, and outer blocks are things that are outside of us. Our environment, the world around us, maybe a lack of things that we need in order to accomplish what we want, people and their effect on us. So those are outer blocks, and we talked about that some last week. This week we're starting on inner blocks. Inner blocks are inside of us. They're the things that we think. Things that we believe that stop us and slow us down and keep us from accomplishing our goals. There are 4 different inner blocks. We are going to start studying them from the bottom up, meaning we're going to start from the ones that are least impactful on your lives, and then we'll end with the most powerful one, which is called a gremlin. We call it a gremlin, and we'll learn about that later. So today we're going to talk about limiting beliefs, and first I have a little story for you. You may have heard of Roger Bannister. Up to the year of 1954, nobody believed that you could run a mile in less than 4 minutes. They thought it was impossible, and not only was it impossible, but it was dangerous. And so you shouldn't even attempt it, and people didn't attempt it because they did not believe it could happen. But in 1954, Roger Bannister ran a mile in less than 4 minutes. And after he did it, people have done it over and over and over since then. This is an example of a limiting belief. When people thought it could not happen, they did not try, or they didn't give it a lot of effort. So a limiting belief is a belief that you have about the world or other people or situations, about life in general, that hold you back. Hold you back from success and from getting what you want. These are statements that you believe are true. You may not have even realized that you know them, and you may not have ever tested their validity, but they can keep you from accomplishing what you want. If you don't believe something is possible, you won't even attempt it. Or if you do, you won't put a lot of effort out because you think, what's the use? I'm not going to be able to do it anyway. And this is like the runners before Roger Bannister. They didn't believe it. They didn't try it. Of course, they couldn't do it. So a limiting belief is not necessarily about you. It is more of a generalized belief about the world around you. It's something that you've heard sometime, something someone told you, or something you just came up with. And you accepted this as true without ever even questioning probably whether it really truly was true. So here are some examples. Life is hard. Talent is something that you're born with. You have to have money to make money. Showing emotion is a sign of weakness. Successful people are lucky. Some beliefs that I had, some limiting beliefs that I had were if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. Or if something is worth doing, it's worth doing right. Sometimes if something is worth doing, it's just worth doing. These 2 beliefs kept me from asking for help, and they kept me at a degree of a mindset of perfectionism that let me not ever be able to live up to my own standards. Some more that I had were, boys don't like smart girls. That means you have to lose whenever you're playing a game, or you can't make more money than your husband. So what are your limiting beliefs? If you can come up with some, put them in the comments. Okay, so here's another one. Have you heard the saying? I can't even think. The saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. This is actually a limiting belief. Scientists used to believe that our mindsets, our belief system were created when we were young in our childhood, and then it just stayed with us throughout our lives and it never changed. They now say that is wrong. There is a term called neuroplasticity, which means our brains do change, and they can change. When we have different thoughts, when we have different experiences, we can make new connections in our brain, more neural connections, and we can actually change our brains. We can change our brains, we can change our thoughts, we can change our beliefs, and we can change our lives. I find this very encouraging because many of the thoughts that I had, the limiting beliefs that I had, were not conducive to living the life that I want to live. So we're going to continue learning about these other 3 energy blocks in the next sessions. During this week, take a look at the things that you think. Maybe make a list of the things that you believe. Go through the list, make a note beside the ones that you think serve you, and make a note beside the ones that you think do not serve you anymore. Challenge them. How true are they? Here's an actual process to help you challenge them and maybe change some of them. So first of all, identify your belief, okay? That's after you've made your list. So pick one of them maybe that bothers you the most to start with. Ask yourself, how true is this belief really? Look for proof of truth or lack of proof. Is this really true at all? Then ask yourself, where did I get this idea? Next, ask yourself, how has this belief affected me? Explore the effect the belief has had on your life and on your performance. What is the cost of this belief? If it's not working for you, what new belief can you come up with that can replace that belief? Then practice, role play, or visualize this new potential belief. How does it feel? What effect does the new belief have on your performance? This exercise is the kind of thing I do with my clients. Sometimes it's too hard to do alone. If you feel like you need some help doing things like this, consider hiring me as your coach. You can go to my website, KimberlinCoaching.com, fill out the form at the bottom of the Work With Me page. I'll contact you and we can talk and see where we would want to go from there. Meanwhile, this week, look around you, see what you're thinking, think about what you're thinking. Don't let yourself be limited by these limiting beliefs that you probably didn't even know you had. Join me next week and we'll keep exploring. We've got 3 more to learn about, and meanwhile, have a great week. Bye-bye.